channel, my first ever YouTube video, and I'm here because I wanted to show you the process of making my first ever sewing garment because I have a lot of audacity. I've decided that I want to make my costume for the Renaissance Fair because I really love dressing up and I have a lot of other things planned. But this feels like a little more casual because it's a costume, so like maybe I don't have to take it so seriously. Here's my concept. You can see that. So this is the end goal. I'm going to be making 3 different pieces. So we're going to make the chemise slash shift. Technically the Renaissance Fair was pre-chemise, but I kind of like them a little fancier. So, you know, we're going for historical fantasy here. Not really historically accurate. But then I'll also be making a pair of stays because again, I am audacious. So I'm trying to make these things out of stuff that I already have or things that I found really cheap. So I got this curtain off clearance. I did buy it, but it was too good. I was originally going to use some other fabric, but I couldn't help myself, and it has this like fun trim. I don't think I'll be using that for this costume, but maybe something in the future, or like a little satchel bag per chance. I have 3 weeks to complete this project, so 1 week per item. And as a novice sewer, we will see how this goes. But I hope you enjoy the journey, and I will see you again while we are actually making this garment. Alrighty, so this is the pattern that I drafted for the shift. I say drafted, but I did not invent this pattern. It is widely available and is kind of like the known formula for shifts from this time period. So basically it's a giant sack and then I will gather it up in all the most important bits. I chose to do one like this because it's super easy. There's no true arm side, and I won't have to worry about drafting a sleeve to fit myself. And it's super forgiving in terms of the fit. So if I measure off, somehow it's all gathered anyway. So like all of these measurements here are twice what I actually want them to be in the end final result. I am gonna cut the front and back pieces separately. A lot of times you keep them attached at the shoulder, but I think with the fabric I have, it'll be easier for me to just cut it in 2 pieces and do stitches on the shoulders. I made the arm sleeves a little bit longer than I think I actually need because I am planning on gathering them so much. So I just wanted to make sure that I have extra to work with if I end up changing my mind on the style or if it's not fitting exactly how I imagined it to, because it can always be shortened at the cuff later. And then since it doesn't have an arm side or a traditional armhole, we have to add in these gussets right here, so that will give the arm movement. And this is going to be folded in half and stitched in, so that's why I have this diagonal little line. It seems like standard is like between 3 and 5 inches for women, so I just picked 4. And then the actual skirt, I want it to be really full, so I'm going to add gores on the side panels so that it has a little bit of extra flare there at the bottom, but I won't have to worry about anything stretching on the bias or stuff like that because it should all be cut straight grain. And then finally, traditionally these were all hand sewn, of course, because sewing machines were invented in the 1600s, 1700s, but I will be using a sewing machine. And also traditionally they're all flat felled seams on the inside. I don't really want to do that because I'm lazy, and also this fabric is sheer. So all in all, I think I have a pretty solid plan, and I am excited to see how it turns out. The only thing I haven't cut out yet is the neckline, and it's because I'm kind of second guessing how much I actually want to cut out. I did know that I was gonna adjust it so that it's not square and it's more of a scoop shape, so it has like more of a natural gradient. But I'm just second guessing how big the depth is because I measured everything and then basically multiplied it by 2 to get it twice gathered. But since the sleeve section where it gets attached, is so small. It's only about 3 inches. I'm worried that having it gathered so much here is just going to add a lot of bulk. So I think I might cut that down a little bit and have it less gathered along the tops, over the shoulder, than it is over the bust in the back. I think as long as I leave enough space for it to stretch to fit around my shoulders here, and still have some gather to it, I'll be happy with that, because I am going to put an elastic in the neckline so that I can decide, like I'll have it fixed for when the elastic is fully relaxed to be like the perfect place if it was sitting up on my shoulders. But then if I wanted to, I could stretch it down and put it down, because I know that is a very cute look, especially for like historical fantasy ships. People like to wear them low across the body like this. So I want that to be an option, and I think that just having elastics in it is going to make it a lot easier and more comfortable for me to sew it. I'll also be putting elastics in the sleeves everywhere where I decide I want them gathered. I'm a little bit torn because I had decided that I wanted to have that flared open bell sleeve, because I probably would not have it gathered so many times. It just seems like 3 sections of gathering is kind of a lot. I would maybe only have the upper arm portion and then have it gathered in at the wrist. So I have to do some thinking about that. But I feel like that's kind of what is so fun about this, is I really get to change my mind and design things as I'm going, and that's kind of the whole point of designing your own garments, and why I wanted to get into pattern drafting immediately, and not use patterns that you can buy, because I just think there's so much fun about the creative freedom that comes from being able to do it yourself. And since I don't have any patterns to go off of, this is what we're working with. So I think I'm gonna wrap it up for tonight and get to stitching this all together tomorrow. So yay! have them pinned. I have it gathered everywhere except in the gusset. I think I'm happy with this placement. If anything, it could be a little bit low, but I don't think so based on how it feels when I put my arm down. It was really hard for me to decide exactly where to put the gusset and where the sleeve should start, but I think I'm happy with this, so I'm going to officially do little gathers. I think I'm just gonna roughly pleat it like I have done here. I thought about putting in gathering channels and doing it the official way, but I'm not sure. I kind of like the way this looks with this like thicker pleated texture instead. I think it looks really nice on this fabric. I'm having a dilemma now though, because these are obviously very long, but I actually think I may keep them loose, like a traditional shift chemise, just because I kind of like it, and I feel like that'll give me a lot more versatility with the actual piece, so that I can wear it with other costumes, even though it does have this texture in the weave, but oh well. Actually, if you look at Renaissance, Italian Renaissance, then sometimes they do have this type of texture. I think that's probably done by embroidery, but it's quite beautiful. Anyway, yeah, I'm happy with this. So I think we'll be getting this stitched on, and then I will be doing the gores in the sides and getting that attached, and then the hems and the neckline. Yay!
I am so incredibly proud with the way that this turned out. I love it so much. The French seams are so clean and beautiful, and since I'm recording this and editing it, I have worn this piece so many times around my house. It's so comfortable and it just brings me a lot of joy, and I think that will really fuel inspiration for me to continue making my own clothes. Thanks for coming along on this journey, and I hope you'll stick around to see the rest of this project. Bye!